So Korea decided not to have fall this year. Psych! I just finished taking 50,000 photos and I'm hoping right now that one of them will be alright. I am actually trying to create a lot of content this week because announcement time, I might be a teacher next week. I've been thinking and praying for a long time and really resisting the idea of teaching. If some of you guys know, I was an English major, studied creative writing, and if you know anything about English majors, especially ones who study writing, being an English teacher is kind of like the bane of their life. It's sort of the old classic trope that if you fail as a writer, chances are you'll just be a lifelong English teacher because that's what you're trained to do. But coming here to Korea and seeing how much need there is for specifically learning English, not just the language, but literacy and just the joy of reading and writing, which I am all about. I am excited to see what the teaching and classroom environment is like outside of the crazy Gangnam, Tiger Mom, Sky Castle area, which is the only area I'm used to so far in terms of teaching English. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated. By next week, I could be a teacher. And I'm out. I'm getting very confused on my way. I think I'm supposed to find it, but I don't know how. I'm getting really lost. Alright, so I finished my interview. I think it went really well. I think they like me, but I'm not sure yet, so I'll get my results in tomorrow. Now I'm at Bojeong Cafe Street, which is like a really nice little cafe street with a lot of coffee shops, and restaurants, and little boutique shops. The special thing about it is that it's got a bunch of lights up even during the day, so it's kind of like a secluded, nice little area. There's also a lot of trees, so it's like very naturey. I am going to traipse through here. Also, I guess I felt really good about my interview because I've already gone shopping and it's been like 10 minutes since my interview. I'm gonna take you now through Bojeong Cafe Gori or Cafe Street. So let's go! here to get a new passport, which I should have done a long time ago, but I'm holding it off because I'm very lazy and I don't want to take a 20-minute bus ride to where I need to go, which is the district area official place where you go to get passports and driver's license thing. I don't even know what you call it, but it's here. So today I had one of the worst days I've had in a long time. First, I went to the clinic because I actually haven't been getting my period for 2 months and I was really worried. They said that everything was fine. They said it could be due to like stress or lack of sleep, which honestly both of those things have been very consistent. So I'm pretty sure it's stress and it's not anything else. So thank God for that. I also needed to get my passport, but I had to make 2 trips because the first time I actually brought back the wrong passport. Like I brought back my old passport. So then I came here and then I had to come all the way back home to get my other passport. And I was just really fed up with myself and really frustrated with myself because I felt like all day I just kept making like little mistakes. Like when I was taking my picture for the passport, I took it in one of those like photo booths. Now I know, don't do that. Like that's a tip for you. If you're in Korea and you're trying to get a passport, don't use those photo booths because first of all, I only got 2 takes. And the first time I like covered my ears with my hair, which you're not supposed to do for a Korean passport. So I had to redo it and each one was $12. And then when I got here, they said that the lighting and the quality was bad. So I might actually have trouble using the passport. So I may have to go back and get new photos and come here a 3rd time. Honestly, by the time I left the place to get my passport, I was just like about to cry. Mostly out of frustration at my own stupidity because I felt like it was all my fault, you know? And I think that is honestly what upsets me the most when I make mistakes that I could have prevented because there's no one to blame but myself. It just reminds me of how little responsibility I take or how impatient I can get, how I can try to do things so fast and get so anxious that I end up making mistakes that I didn't need to. But I had a really good friend who bought me some coffee that made me feel a lot better. It's the encouragement of people like that, of the people in my life who got us placed that remind me that it's okay to make mistakes. Honestly, the only person I'm ever this hard on is myself. Like if this was happening to anyone else, I'd be like, oh, it's fine. You know, like everyone makes mistakes. But somehow for me, it's not permissible because I know that I could have thought more. I could have planned better. I could have been more prepared. I'm probably gonna head home soon because today was a very exhausting day and I've made many trips and taken many steps, but at least I got some exercise. Honestly, the only thing keeping me sane today was the beautiful weather. It's so beautiful outside. I was in a pretty good mood this morning going out because the trees were changing, the leaves were changing, and it was looking like fall. If there's one thing about today I'm not mad about, it's that I found this beautiful park. Just looks like autumn, and I love it. So I am back in my home. So I talked about how stress is probably what's been affecting my health recently. Honestly, I think I know the source. I think I know why I've been so stressed. The source of my stress is that I am constantly on work mode. A, everything I do has to have some sort of productive purpose. B, I have decision paralysis. It's the idea that when you have more decisions or more choices, you end up being paralyzed and it's actually harder for you to make decisions and then you end up not making them at all. For instance, I actually had another job offer earlier this year in July and I didn't take it. And that was another teaching offer. And at the time, I wasn't looking for a full-time job. I wanted a part-time job. And in the moment, it was really hard for me to make a decision that seemed like a commitment that would take up a lot of my time. This is a problem I've had since college. Any kind of commitment that requires a lot out of me, a lot of my energy, a lot of my money, time, resources, nothing ever seemed worth sacrificing for other than the work that I set out to do. So I think it's all kind of linked together. I'm realizing more and more now how much of an artist slash creative mind I am. I was actually talking to a lot of other artists this weekend, and we were talking about how what we create, our work, our projects are more important than our grades. I never really spent a summer break or even like a winter break without doing some kind of writing, whether it's an internship or working on one of my novels. Now I am really seeing the fruition of it. Now I made this announcement on Instagram, but I will make it again. This is very exciting for me. This is kind of one of my lifelong dream slash bucket list checklists that I wanted to accomplish, and that is being published, which has not happened yet, but I have achieved the first step of that, which is finding an agent who wants to represent my first novel. That is very exciting news. I feel like this is just like a video of exciting announcements. Another exciting announcement, of course, is that the job that I interviewed for last week, I will be starting next Monday as a kindergarten slash elementary English teacher, and that is a little terrifying. Teaching is not what I set out to do. That is why I chose a school where I felt like the education program is actually something that can be beneficial for the kids. I really like the learning environment. I like the people. They were very nice. So it'll be an interesting experience. I'm both excited and nervous. I do think there's a lot more I need to process, but hopefully making these big slash little decisions will help me because I have been paralyzed to make these kinds of decisions. I don't really know why I'm like this, but I really do love personality tests. I love Enneagram as a type 3. That has really helped me figure out why I am the way I am, why I think and act in certain ways. And overall, I think by making these new decisions and actually taking brave steps towards something that I don't know, not letting go of the dreams that I've had since I was a kid, but trusting that those opportunities for other things I want to do may come later, like film, acting. God made me a very passionate person about many, many things, and I want to do it all, but I can't. Anyways, this will be the beginning of hopefully an exciting journey, one that doesn't destroy me. Even though I may not be here as often as before, I will still be making videos occasionally. They'll come as a little surprise for you guys, so enjoy. I'm gonna go take a long nap. That's a lie. I don't nap. I'm gonna go lie down for a bit, and then I'll probably get to editing this video because I'm a workaholic. But thanks for watching, and see you soon.